Hello, this is Kevin with Bangert Inc. And in this session, we're going to talk about custom column formatting. So it's always amazed me looking at how many people print reports and how little of the time we use colors. So when people do Excel spreadsheets, it seems like everyone's using colors to highlight different things and do some highlighting formulas and things of that nature. But it seems like a lot of time when they do reports, they don't really utilize the same logic of really popping colors, which I think is a big mistake. So that's where this video, I really want to kind of get into how to control the different colors for some of these, because I think that understanding why people print reports, what are we looking for, and if we can have something highlight and show something that just catches your eye, makes the reports a heck of a lot easier to browse and look through than trying to sift through a bunch of pages of anything. So that's what this video is going to be on, is how to go in and actually control what colors these different cells are based on. So I've already in my report, this is the same report we've been working on through the series here. And I basically want to do something of, if an invoice amount, let's say, as I'm looking down through some of these numbers so I could kind of figure out something that's going to pop some colors on mine. So it looks like I've got some that are under, so let's say anything that's over $10,000, maybe I want that to be yellow for some reason, and anything that's over 100,000, I want that to be red, so that way it looks like I hit a couple of them in different combinations and so forth. Now, this example, I don't know how much somebody would look at the amounts unless it takes, other people in the office to approve it, or someone's just wanted to kind of, focus on it. Probably the most common one that I've done that gets into colors is people with like, doing like GL budgets in relationship to their amount for that budget, or projects where maybe I could show a cost code that's getting within 10% of the budget. Maybe the job to date cost shows up as yellow, and if it's over budget, it shows up at red, things like that. So that way it catches someone's eye on just staring at the paper, that yellow or the red would just bang. There it is right there to, let me focus on those without having to sit there and stare at, pretty close at each number and try to think about, whether it's over or under some of those things. So that's what we're going to do here, is just kind of show how to use different colors for different ranges in this case. And it could be a formula that, looks to see if it's over a certain dollar or a certain percentage and some of those things also. So in my case, I'm going to go back to define. And let's just say I want to do the invoice amount. So I'm going to go back to my column properties, and I'm going to head over to the conditional formatting. And we're going to say the invoice amount is greater than or equal to $10,000. I can control and put it in a different font for some reason. Maybe I want to change the size of something to make it bigger. So there again, maybe because of some reason, you can have just, header show up bigger, colored, different font for some reason. In my case, all I'm going to really do is I'm going to basically make it bold, and I'm going to give it a highlight color of yellow. I could change kind of the borders on it if I wanted to, some of those type of things. I'm not going to worry about too much of that in this first case. I'm going to say, okay, accept it. I'm going to add another condition. So I'm going to pick the invoice amount again. And let's say if it's greater than or equal to 100,000, I want to make it bold again. I want to give it a background color of red maybe. And let's see what that looks like. So now that I go back to refine so I can see my report again, you'll notice that instantly anything over 10,000 was yellow, anything over 100,000 was red. Very quickly, your eye just gets drawn to those and so forth. And you could actually highlight, you could do that same highlighting under each one of those if I wanted to. So let's say, for example, if I go back and say, let's go back to the, I don't know why, let's say the vendor, column properties, conditional formatting, add a condition. I could still add it on that same invoice amount. I could still say that it's greater than or equal to some dollar amount. We had it in bold and yellow. And let's say the vendor again is greater than or equal to 100,000. And there again, let's say bold and red. So you could go through each column in the report and add that if you wanted to pop that whole line or something of that nature, or just particular columns. So that, that's where, whoops, I must have got that messed up. Because it looks like everybody must be over what I put for red. So let's go back and look at that again. Column properties, colors. Oh, I must have picked a bad column. Let me get rid of that one. I want to add something based on the invoice amount. The invoice amount has to be greater than or equal to 800,000 again. Okay, I want it in color red, and I wanted this bold. So now, like I said, I could do every single one if I wanted that whole row to look that way. This one's going to show a little bit different just for the fact that since I've got this suppressing it, if any one of them are over that, it'll show as that particular color. So that way you'll kind of see that that's the sum of those are over it. So it does do a little bit different on the group headings if you're not showing it on every single line. So in this case here, it's kind of looking at that as the total for that vendor is over 100,000. Versus if I went back and let's say I did not have this being repeated. I did want to repeat it. So let's say I had it repeated then. So now you notice that A1 electric is no longer, red for both of them because it's not looking at the total of those. So when you do something on a field that is being grouped, you do have to kind of watch out for that a little bit because that color is going to try to go across, the total of those. So that way it's once per that vendor for this particular job. So that's where those were kind of coming up before, where now they kind of match exactly with what the amounts are. But anyway, that's how you can actually use colors to kind of catch someone's eye if there's something particular that you want to, be looking for. So that way, if I'm just looking for, if that change order's over, 90 days old, bang, I want that to show up as a yellow just to catch someone's eye or something of that nature. So just different things that you can actually set up on a report to, instead of someone having to stare at the content, is there something that we can bring to somebody's attention easier with colors? Thanks for watching.